In the crucible of modern conflict, where the specter of artificial intelligence and swarming drone fleets dominate the popular narrative, a fundamental truth persists, stubborn and unyielding. The main battle tank, MBT, remains the non-parallel monarch of land warfare. This is the paradoxical reality underpinning the vast, almost incomprehensible expenditures, the billions wasted, on technologies specifically engineered to render these armored leviathans obsolete.
From precision-guided missiles boasting fire-and-forget capabilities, to esoteric loitering munitions designed to exploit kinetic vulnerabilities, the investment into the tank's demise has been astronomical. Yet the tank endures, not merely as a relic, but as the apex predator of the combined arms domain, possessed of an impervious tactical edge. The narrative of obsolescence is as old as the tank itself.
In the wake of World War II, the advent of shaped charge technology and the initial generation of anti-tank guided missiles, ATGMs, prompted defense analysts to prematurely write the obituary of heavy armor. This existential crisis reached its dramatic peak in the Yom Kippur War, where Egyptian and Syrian infantry, armed with massive stockpiles of Soviet ATGM systems, inflicted devastating losses upon Israeli armor.
It was a baptism of fire that seemingly validated the profits of the lightweight, high-tech counter. But what the world mistook for a terminal diagnosis was in fact an inflection point, the necessary evolutionary shock that catalyzed the MBT's transition into an even more formidable system.
The immediate, decisive response was the adoption of explosive reactive armor, ERA, a counter-shock technology that defeated the single-point penetration threat and reintroduced the foundational concept that protection must always surpass penetration. The modern MBT is not merely a steel box. It is a hyper-optimized ecosystem of protection, propulsion, and lethal kinetic delivery.
The vulnerability targeted by the latest anti-tank systems, the supposed silver bullet technologies funded by vast governmental budgets, presupposes a static, passive target. This assumption is the core tactical fallacy upon which billions are squandered. The contemporary battle space is characterized by overwhelming sensor input and instant connectivity.
The MBT, whether it be the M1 Abrams, the Leopard 2, or the Challenger 2, is integrated into an operational mosaic that ensures it is rarely isolated and never truly surprised. Its invulnerability stems not just from the layers of passive armor, depleted uranium matrices and advanced composite materials, measured in meters of equivalent rolled homogeneous armor, RHA, but from the sophisticated C4ISR network in which it operates. The true tactical edge lies in the tank's inherent capacity for kinetic dominance. While a drone or a missile can deliver a localized blast, the tank carries an immediate, reusable, and devastating kinetic energy projector, the main gun. The high-velocity, fin-stabilized discarding Sabot HV-APF-SDS rounds travel at velocities that defy human reaction time, delivering thousands of tons of localized pressure to targets miles away. This sheer, unmitigated kinetic capability dictates the tactical flow of engagement. Infantry must scatter, light vehicles are obliterated, and fortified positions are pulverized. This is a level of destructive, protected persistence that no drone swarm, no man-portable missile system, and certainly no soft-skinned vehicle can replicate. The billions aimed at creating a perfect counter fail because they focus on defeating the tank's armor, ignoring the tank's profound doctrinal and psychological role.
to advance under fire and destroy everything in its path. Furthermore, the defense industrial complex, constantly seeking to dismantle the tank's superiority, continually underestimates the iterative, compounding nature of armor development. Every new anti-tank missile introduces a specific trajectory, a specific fuse mechanism, and a specific warhead type. The tank designers immediately analyze this signature and incorporate a micro-adjustment in the armor package, the Active Protection System (APS) programming, or the countermeasure deployment sequence. The cycle of offense versus defense is highly asymmetrical. The offense must succeed perfectly once to score a kill. The defense must fail only once to be defeated. But it has multiple redundant layers, ensuring the offense must penetrate 3 or 4 distinct systems simultaneously. This redundancy is the practical manifestation of the MBT's imperviousness.
The billions dedicated to its destruction serve only to finance the next, more exotic layer of its defense, reinforcing its central, unassailable position on the modern battlefield.
To understand why modern tanks absorb billions of dollars of anti-tank weaponry without flinching requires an immersion into the esoteric physics of layered defense, a concept that elevates protection from mere mass to an orchestrated kinetic strategy. The contemporary main battle tank operates not behind a single defense, but within a layered citadel designed to defeat threats across the electromagnetic spectrum and the velocity scale, from the slow, high-angle trajectory of top-attack munitions to the hypervelocity shockwave of advanced tank rounds. The foundation of this invulnerability is the passive armor shell, a masterpiece of metallurgical and composite engineering. This is where the initial billions are truly neutralized.
The latest generations of armor, exemplified by the Chobham derivatives found on NATO MBTs, are not homogeneous, but complex matrices of ceramics, steel, specialized polymers, and often exotic materials like depleted uranium, DU. When a kinetic penetrator or a shaped charged jet strikes this surface, the ceramics shatter the penetrator, diverting the immense energy flux. The DU inserts, possessing incredible density, absorb and dissipate residual energy, a process that happens in nanoseconds.
The metric used to quantify this protection, equivalent rolled homogeneous armor, ERHA, often runs into measurements exceeding 1 meter, meaning an attacking projectile must possess the kinetic energy necessary to punch through a solid meter of high-grade steel. The cost and complexity of manufacturing a kinetic penetrator capable of reliably achieving this is staggering, rendering most medium-range anti-tank systems ineffective before they even leave the development phase.
Layered directly upon this passive core are the advanced forms of reactive armor, moving far beyond the simple ERA bricks of the Cold War. Modern non-explosive reactive armor, narrow and specialized self-limiting explosive designs, employ dynamic plates and tiles that move laterally or tilt upon impact. This movement disrupts the highly focused shaped charge jet, shearing it, stretching it, and reducing its penetration potential by orders of magnitude.
For tandem charge warheads, designed specifically to defeat basic ERA by using a precursor charge to clear the way for the main warhead, the MBT employs sophisticated decoy and interruption systems that confuse the timing mechanism between the charges, ensuring the primary armor remains intact when the main attack arrives. This intricate kinetic dance is invisible to the layman, yet it is the silent executioner of most anti-tank guided missile programs.
The crowning achievement and the final drain on the budgets of aspiring tank killers is the Active Protection System, APS. These systems represent the pinnacle of battlefield robotics and radar-driven kinetic interception,
Hard kill APS, such as the Israeli Trophy system or the German ADATS variant, utilize miniature sensor arrays and highly localized radar to detect, track, and kinetically destroy incoming threats, be they high-velocity rockets or low-flying drones, literally meters away from the hull. The system identifies the threat, calculates its trajectory within milliseconds, and launches a counter-munition, often a fragmentation charge, designed to neutralize the incoming projectile without generating excessive collateral damage. The speed and precision required to perform this interception reliably across a 360-degree envelope, day and night, in all weather conditions, represents a technological hurdle that demands computational power and sensor fusion traditionally reserved for high-end fighter aircraft. Soft kill APS complements this defense by using electro-optical jammers, smoke generators, and laser countermeasures to disrupt the guidance systems of wire-guided and semi-active homing missiles. These systems create a temporary, impenetrable envelope around the tank, confusing the missile's tracking mechanism and causing it to veer wildly off course. The combined effect of passive, reactive, and active protection creates a defensive domain that is mathematically designed to achieve near-perfect reliability against singular threats. For an enemy to achieve a kill, they must coordinate multiple, simultaneous attacks from varying angles, using disparate technologies, all arriving within a millisecond window. An undertaking so complex under real battlefield duress that it becomes practically impossible, thereby rendering the billions spent on individual anti-tank platforms tactically irrelevant. The fundamental reason why the colossal investment in anti-tank technology is consistently neutralized and why the tank remains impervious transcends mere engineering. It is rooted in immutable strategic and psychological imperatives. The tank is the ultimate instrument of strategic presence. It dictates the terms of engagement simply by existing on the battlefield. Its kinetic mass and protected mobility offer political and military leadership a decisive tool for rapid operational maneuver, breakthrough assaults, and, crucially, protected occupation and deterrence. No other platform offers the same confluence of attributes, and thus, attempts to replace it with cheaper, lighter, or less armored alternatives are doomed to strategic failure, regardless of their technological sophistication. Consider the strategic requirement for sustained breakthrough operations. In high-intensity conflict, the objective is to rapidly penetrate deep enemy defenses, exploit vulnerabilities, and collapse the enemy's operational structure. This cannot be achieved by remotely operated vehicles or thin-skinned infantry fighting vehicles, IFVs. The breakthrough demands a platform capable of absorbing massive concentrations of enemy fire, traversing heavily mined terrain, breaching obstacles, and continuing the advance while suppressing enemy forces with overwhelming direct fire. This is the exclusive domain of the MBT. The very existence of a company of modern tanks compels the enemy to commit disproportionate resources, artillery, air support, and vast anti-tank reserves merely to slow its advance, thereby confirming its tactical and strategic primacy. The economic dynamic of the conflict further solidifies the tank's position. While an advanced ATGM might cost a few $100,000 and a drone maybe tens of thousands, the latest generation MBT costs upwards of $15 million, embodying the very billions in investment. The calculation often favored by tank critics is the simple unit cost ratio. However, this fails to account for the necessary ratio of expenditure required to reliably defeat a modern, actively defended tank. Due to the layered defense systems, APS, ERA, composite armor,
A single tank may require 10 to 15 simultaneous coordinated high-end missile strikes to achieve a confirmed kill. And even then, mission kill is more likely than catastrophic destruction. The effective cost of neutralizing one Abrams or Leopard 2 therefore spirals into the millions, often exceeding the cost of the tank itself, especially when factoring in the supporting logistics and sensor assets required for such a coordinated attack. The defensive multiplier inherent in the tank's design ensures that the economic exchange ratio remains squarely in favor of the armor platform. Moreover, the psychological effect of the tank cannot be overstated. Throughout history, the presence of heavy armor has demoralized opposing infantry and provided an unshakable point of resilience for Allied troops. The sheer size, noise, and kinetic output of a tank column advancing under fire is a demonstration of raw, protected power that transcends the capabilities of smaller, drone-based systems. Drones can observe, tanks dominate. Drones can strike, tanks occupy.
When the dust settles and the air is cleared, kinetic presence is what secures territory, and only the tank provides the armored fist capable of delivering and sustaining that presence. The billions poured into anti-tank countermeasures are not truly wasted. They are the unavoidable tribute paid to the complexity of mechanized warfare. They fuel the continuous, exponential arms race, where every offensive innovation is met by a geometric increase in defensive capabilities.
The modern tank, through its continuous evolution and integration of new technologies, transforms every potential threat into an opportunity for reinforcement, utilizing the very digital battlefield the critics hoped would kill it.
Until a platform emerges that can match the tank's unique combination of protected mobility, devastating kinetic force, and strategic resilience, the enduring leviathan of steel will remain impervious, defying obsolescence and reaffirming its mastery over the ground domain.